Hello, I'm Hani. Welcome to CocoWeave Trainings to learn more about public speaking and presentation skills. Since 2005, we have trained more than 20,000 participants to work on their public speaking and presentation skills. And of course, they gain a confidence to speak in all walks of life, situations, circumstances, and scenarios. With this, we have come up today with some 5 time-tested techniques on how to make excellent public speeches. And I can assure you that if in case you imbibe these 5 tips into your next public speech, you would make it an experience that people would cherish for the rest of their life. So let's get started. Tip number 1, know your subject and your speech. So the one best way to overcome your nervousness is to go ahead and know what you are talking about. You should know your subject and you should be prepared for your subject. So for instance, if you have to speak about your famous and a favorite author, so gather as much information as you can through Google and internet, and of course through the local library resources. Once you master your subject, you would find that you would have a greater command over your subject and your language. Once you know your subject, it becomes important that you should now prepare for your presentation. So for your presentation, you should go ahead and rehearse yourself as many times till the time you become absolutely comfortable to talk about. Now for this, I do not say that necessarily you should memorize each and every word of your speech, but of course you should know the order, the sequence, the rhythm and the system should not be lost. That's the reason when students in my program enroll for public speaking, the first subject that I normally want them to talk about is the icebreaker speech, wherein they get to talk about the subject that they know most well, and that's about themselves, right? So know your subject and become a master in your subject and rehearse your speech so that you give it fluently. Tip number 2, know your audience and your place. That's one thing which becomes very important and many speakers make a miss. What you need to do is that before you make any kind of a public speech or a presentation, know that who are going to be your audience. Imagine if you are a researcher and you have to make a presentation to a bunch of college professors. So therein, when you make use of technical language, flowery language and sophisticated language, it works really well. They enjoy your speech and they love the way you present it. But imagine if you have to give the same presentation to school-going children. Would the same flowery language, technical, jargon-oriented language really help? Probably not. But if you put it in very simple, lucid terms and let them know what's the importance of research while making their home assignments, wouldn't it be more beneficial to them? So know about the traits about your audience, about their background, about their age, about their geography, about their politics, about their culture. This would help you and your audience to connect very well. Once you know your audience, you also need to know your place. So whenever you have to make a presentation, imagine where exactly is the place that you would be making a presentation. If possible, go ahead and visit that place. Make yourself acquainted to the place. See, do you have all that you need to make a presentation? For instance, if you have to make a PowerPoint presentation, then does the place has a screen? If you have to make a presentation in an open amphitheater, then is the sun too glaring for the audience to see the screen? Or if the size of the audience is really large, then do you have the system supporting your audio and visual aids in place? So you have to answer all these questions before you actually land up and make a speech. Tip number 3, never apologize. Yes, you would be surprised to know this is something for you, an eye-opener, not for your audience. Your audience do not exactly know what you are going to speak. So even if you make a miss while making a speech, miss on few words or a few portion of your speech, do not panic. Just relax and continue with the flow of the speech, flow of your presentation. And very soon you would be able to make yourself where you have lost it. You would be able to catch up with a new point. And that's exactly what most of the advanced speakers know. They know where the attention of the audience has to be guided, and of course it should not be on the small stuff. Let it go and you focus on the main part of the presentation. This brings me to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is imagine yourself giving a great speech. Visualization is one great tip to success. And I can let you know that you should give yourself as much time as you can to prepare for this thing, and that's visualization. So imagine you're giving a great speech, you are able to connect emotionally with your audience, you're using the right gestures and body language, and you see a sense of satisfaction and of course a kind of happiness on your audience face. And do not forget to imagine the wild applause that you would be getting from your audience, right? So finally, this brings us to tip number 5. Focus on your speech, your content, and not on yourself. That's where most of the novice speakers make a miss. They let their nervousness win. They let them focus entirely on their own self. So if they make any kind of a mistake, then all they hear is a shaky voice of their own self. Don't do that mistake. You are there for a purpose. You are there to give a speech to the audience on an important topic where you want to inform them, persuade them, guide them, inspire them, educate them. You are there for a purpose. So focus on the purpose and not on yourself. I hope these tips make some great sense to you. If you want to know more about the public speaking courses and the presentation skills and how you can become one of the most sought after speaker or a trainer of the world, you are welcome to join our public speaking and presentation skills training program. We talk a lot about how do you remove stage fear, how do you become confident speaker, how do you express yourself with more clarity. And for this you can visit our website too, which is www.cocoweave.com. I spell again as COCOWEAVE.com, right? And yes, if you want to connect with us, you want to speak to us personally and need some kind of guidance or support, we are happy to help you. Please feel free to contact us on our contact number 9999 317479. Thank you.